Hello and welcome to Wimbledon's latest video release, in which over the next hour or so I'll be taking a look at the Dons' fortunes in the first third of the Premier League season. Despite the best efforts of Sam Hammam to take us back to Merton, the club began its second season at Selhurst Park. The big news over the summer had been the arrival of 23-year-old striker Dean Holdsworth from Brentford, in a deal which made him the club's first ever £1 million signing, with Mickey Bennett and Detsy Krasinski heading for West London. Dino had notched up 38 goals for the Bees last season, and I was really looking forward to forming a new partnership with him. But sadly, it wasn't to be, as I started the new season with a hamstring injury. The club certainly approached the new season confidently, even offering the fans free season tickets if we won the Premier League title. This was despite the fact that Terry Phelan had become the latest big name tipped to leave the club. The fixture list had given us the toughest possible start. We travelled to Ellen Road to meet the champions Leeds, and it was to prove a frustrating start to the campaign.
Batty with the throw. Holdsworth, held up by Newsom. Batty on the scene quickly. It was an intelligent ball played behind the defenders, and Fitzgerald aware that Sagers was very close to him, and the perils of this change in the regulations for defenders and goalkeeper alike. But entertainment for the spectators. You could hear the roars of anticipation as they saw Scott Fitzgerald suffering a little bit, but he came out on top in the end. Chapman, well met by Buck. Chapman's volley, and there wouldn't have been too much Sagers could have done about that. If it had been slightly to the left as Lee Chapman looked. It was an enterprising try from this great servant to Howard Wilkinson, both here and at Sheffield Wednesday prior to that. But at 32, one wonders what mileage there is left in Chapman. Well, that's his answer. Speed. Continua. Great appreciation of where McAllister was. So he provides the width on the right-hand side this time, and Newsom as well. Getting the better of Clark. Four in the middle for Howard Wilkinson's side. Oh, and Chapman. It's all a muddle, but it's a goal. And the first in the Premier League for Leeds and for Lee Chapman. And it's come after 14 minutes. And you have to point at how defenders are going to deal in these circumstances. They're going to have to be more positive when they can't use their own goalkeeper. More positive than Roger Joseph was. His touch was poor. Chapman's wasn't. 1-0 to Leeds. So we've had 20 minutes of the first half, most of it played in the Wimbledon half. More to come, one suspects. Continua aiming for Chapman, finding Chapman, well stopped, but the second hits the post. McAllister, speed, McAllister, wide. Oh. Well, a combination of goalkeeping and good fortune stopped Wimbledon really sinking from view then. But Continua made it possible with his work on the right. Chapman seemed certain to score. That's very much his territory. Well stopped Sagers, then the post, and then McAllister. It was blocked. McAllister again. McAllister's come across to take the corner. That's Fairclough. Oh, very well finished by Hodge, but it's not going to count. The linesman believed that Wimbledon moved out, and if they did, it was very well timed. And it looks as though that the orchestration was spot on from the defensive point of view. Hodge has Played so well in the pre-season games for Leeds, and by the reckoning of all his teammates, very unlucky not to be in the chosen 11, either at Wembley last Saturday for the Charity Shield or here today. Chapman, lovely play from Leeds. Wallace, oh! Well, the origins of that attack goes back to Chris White in his own half. Others played a part subsequent to that, but White, showing that defenders have more skill than they've often used, set it on its way, and it very nearly flashed in from Rodney Wallace. Warren Barton has done it by pulling a rabbit out of the hat for Wimbledon. A freak, and a great deal of embarrassment for John Lukic. White headed it down, and it was really into the penalty area that Bart was thinking of, not into the net, but that's where it dropped. A quite amazing goal. Cantona, Chapman lines it up. Leeds are back in the lead, and Lee Chapman has done it again. And he really is a player who feasts himself at the expense of Wimbledon. 7 goals now in 5 matches against today's opposition in Leeds colours. And they can smile again down there with 3.5 minutes to go. Hodge ploughed on, and Cantona fashioned the little header, and it sat up perfectly for Chapman to strike.
We certainly thought we deserved at least a point from that game, and felt that we had a good appeal for a penalty turned down. However, the lads were confident that we could bounce back in our first home game against Premier League boys Ipswich Town. Our new signing Greg Berry made his debut, but with myself and John Scales out of action, we dominated the entire 90 minutes, only to end the evening with nothing.
Stockwell now breaking for Ipswich, but Kiyombia getting a lucky break there, Elkins diving in. Chance here for Stockwell. Plays it into the middle, it's a goal for Ipswich Town, the scorer Paul Goddards. In fact, it's Gavin Johnson who opens his accounts. And Wimbledon caught on the counter-attack. And good defending by Ipswich again. Shot there by Robbie Earle, that's a few yards over. Whistles going from the Ipswich fans. Bit of entry time for that knock to John Walk. And Whelan. Picked up by the Wimbledon bench. Elkins forwards. Elkins into that Ipswich box. Paul Miller is there, so's Robbie Earle. Chance here for Dobbs. Dobbs a chance to chip it in. Away by Linnigan. Not very far. Falling for Scott Fitzgerald. Chance here for Warren Barton across the box and almost under his own goal by David Linnigan. Behind. Well have burst the net.
There was more disappointment to come on the following Saturday. Our 1988 Cup-winning manager Bobby Gould brought his informed side Coventry City to Selhurst Park, and despite battling back hard, a couple of defensive mistakes left us with too much to do. The one silver lining was Dean Holsworth's first league goal.
Coventry City today, the visitors to Selhurst Park, sitting on the top of the Premier Division with 6 points against a pointless Don side. Lost their first 2 games, rather unfortunately some would say midweek against Ipswich Town. A chance to see the return of Bobby Gould, the man who took Dons to Wembley triumph, as an early chance here for Wimbledon, and a good save there from Gerald Dobbs by the evergreen Steve Ogrizovic. Well, a bit of slackness in the Coventry City defence that's sure to annoy Bobby Gould and his assistant manager Phil Neal. Don's number 9, Dean Holsworth, costs considerably more, and he's yet to find the net. Close against Ipswich Town. Williams puts that one forward just ahead of Rosario, and Dean Blackwell forced to just hit that anywhere. Don's fans strangely muted in these opening minutes. What they lack in numbers, they usually make up for in the level of their support. David Smith gets a lucky rebound. No cross coming over. Mickey Ginn is there. Can he turn? Shot by Mickey Ginn. It's got in. Coventry City take the lead after 12 minutes. Mickey Ginn got on the end of a cross from David Smith. He turned. He didn't hit it with a lot of power. It took a slight deflection, I think, and went under the despairing dive of Hans Sagers. So Coventry City 1, Wimbledon 0 after 12 minutes here at Selhurst Park, and rather against the run of play. Second half gets underway here at Selhurst Park, and Wimbledon have made a substitution. Andy Clark is on, and the man to come off is Scott Fitzgerald, and immediately a chance for Robert Rosario. Robert Rosario on his left foot. Rosario through the legs of the keeper, Hans Sagers, and 2-0 to Coventry within seconds of the start of the second half. A sickener for Wimbledon. Robert Rosario doesn't score many, and he certainly won't get any more fortunate than that. He half struck his shots. It went straight through the legs of the Wimbledon keeper, Hans Sagers. And the worst of all possible starts of this second half for Wimbledon. How ironic that he made such a good save from a properly struck shot from Rosario. The first half, a mistake there by Roger Joseph, and luckily for him, John Williams stumbles. Robbie Earle, what can he do? Wimbledon in urgent need of some inspiration. Norris Sanchez trying his luck just over Ogrizovic's bar. Sanchez can strike the ball well, and as we saw with Robert Rosario's goal, it isn't always a well-struck shot that ends up in the back of the net. Played to the penalty spot, headed there by Robbie Earle and tipped over by Ogrizovic. Knocks that one all the way, taking no chances. Elkins about to take the corner, suddenly realises he's got to run to the other side of the pitch. So, eventually they're placing the ball, left-footed corner. As Warren Barton comes near. The ball drilled into the area. Header down. Handball, says Robbie Earle, who headed down. Referee having none of it. What a good header from Robbie Earle. I think the decision right by the referee. Holsworth is onside. Wimbledon starts to put the Coventry goal under a bit of pressure. Trying to get past Fleming. Gets his cross in as well. Bobbling around, chance here for the Dons. And Dean Holsworth does it! Dean Holsworth opens his account for Wimbledon. They're back in the game. An excellently taken goal after a fine cross from Steve Antrobus. Well, that's what the Dons paid £1 million for. A finely taken goal from Dean Holsworth, who opens his accounts for Wimbledon. They're back in the game and 16 minutes remain. Swinging a square to Elkins, lofting it forwards, but Terry Fleming in very resolutely. To try again, Elkins. Again Fleming in forcefully, that time penalised by referee Barrett. And as Jim to his friends. He's refereed this game well. Stamped his authority very quickly on any situation in which he's been involved. Determined that Robert Rosario is the full 10 yards from that free kick. In it comes, headed on, and a tip over from Ogrizovic. Fine header by Robbie Earle. The Ogrizovic, experienced campaigner that he is, watched it all the way.
With John Scales and myself still sidelined, and Terry Feeling having completed his £2.5 million transfer to Manchester City, Joe Kinnear took a patched-up side full of youngsters to Bramall Lane to face Sheffield United, led by another former boss, Dave Bassett. The Wimbledon spirit came to the fore, and we fought bravely to notch up our first point of the season, thanks to a rather special strike from Dino.
Free kick to Sheffield United then, which club skipper Brian Gale will take. Just inside the United half. Get it away, but Sheffield still putting on the pressure. It's Paul Miller driving it away, and as far as Gale again. Exchange of passes by Sheffield as they build from the back. They'll break on here now. Perhaps a shot will come in. It comes wide to Dean. Brian Dean gets the shot in, and Sagers, did he get a touch of that? It was certainly onto the crossbar from Brian Dean's shot. Brian Dean it was who had the final effort from a nice move by United. I can see that Sagers may have got a touch onto that. Dean hits it first time. Perhaps not actually. Sagers didn't get a touch of that, I don't think, but straight under the crossbar. And Wimbledon survived. Long goal kick by Tracy. Comes straight through to Sagers, who will return the compliment with another long goal kick. And Gerald Dobbs is onside, and a chance to break here. He's been pushed wide by the bounce of the ball, but he cuts inside the penalty area. Dobbs with the shot into the side netting, with Tracy going down. But a good piece of work by Dobbs to create a shooting chance, although obviously teammates had got into perhaps better scoring positions. Ryan Gale with the free kick into the penalty area. Alan Cork doing well against his former side, of course. But Wimbledon get it away. Dean Holdsworth looking to bring it under control, but it's still with United. It breaks through here. And that was another scoring chance going back in. Hans Sagers was able to gather that one. Warren Barton brings it forward. Falls for Miller. Miller square to Steve Antrobus. Antrobus looking to get a shot in, but he's bundled to the ground, and the referee has awarded a free kick in a very dangerous position for Wimbledon, just on the edge of the D there, outside the penalty area. Having his boot returned to him as United reorganise here and put together a wall to face this Wimbledon free kick. Warren Barton is the Dons free kick specialist. He's standing over this one. Simon Tracy positioning his wall. Robbie Earle is there. And Steve Antrobus is trying to force his way into the wall as well. Laurie Sanchez standing over this free kick, but Barton is, I think, favourite to take it. Looks as if Barton will have a crack from about 22 yards, just outside the D. Barton it is. 1-0 it is. Warren Barton has slotted it home for the Dons, just inside the far post for Simon Tracy. And a great low, well-struck free kick by Warren Barton. And the Wimbledon fans who've made the trip here to Bramall Lane have something to cheer about. Warren Barton gives his side the lead. A wonderful free kick, low and hard, just wide of the wall, just wide of Simon Tracy and into the corner of the net. It's a throw to Sheffield United, which Bryson takes. It's brought under control by Hartfield. Headed away by McAllister. But Sheffield United still looking to keep the pressure on. Robbie Earle back there doing defending work. He's put it out of play. It'll be a throw-in to Sheffield United as they look for this equaliser to Warren Barton's free kick. Long throw-in. Headed away, but not convincingly so. The strike comes in from Beasley. Paul Beasley has equalised for Sheffield United. What a wonderful effort it was as well. He struck that first time right into the net, and Hans Sagers had no chance. Sheffield United won, Wimbledon won. A long throw in was never convincingly cleared by Wimbledon. Scott Fitzgerald was there getting a header, but straight out to Beasley on the edge of the box, who fired it in past Sagers' despairing dive. 1-1. Tracy takes the long goal kick. Alan Cork is looking to get something moving here. There's a chance here for Hodges. It was Hodges who got the shot in, and it was Hans Sagers who did well with a one-handed save. Jim Hodges, of course, a former Wimbledon player, looking to do well against his former club, but Sagers denied him there. Still 1-1 here at Bramall Lane. Moved forward. Alan Cork will try to get on the end of this. He's faced by Dean Blackwell. Blackwell's clearance is a long way up in the air, but has cleared the danger for the moment, but it's gone out for a Sheffield United throw-in, which is quickly taken, but there's a slight clash there. A couple of players clashing, and it looks as if it's a Sheffield United free kick, in fact. Obviously obstruction there against the Wimbledon defender, which I think was Blackwell. Bryson is standing over it, so is Hodges. But not sure who's going to take it as yet. It's lofted into the box. It's there, and I think that's gone straight in from the free kick. I think Glyn Hodges, who took the free kick, I don't think anybody else got a touch of that. Yes, the players are going over to congratulate him, and Glyn Hodges it was, whose free kick went straight into the net. Bryson there congratulating him. Let's see that again. The free kick from Hodges, yes, didn't get a touch from anybody. Evaded the Wimbledon defence and into the net past the despairing Sagers. It's United 2, Wimbledon 1. Hodges with the free kick. The header there from Dean just over the crossbar. Ryan Dean powering in with a header, but didn't really threaten the Sagers. So the Wimbledon goal kick. It's still Sheffield United 2, Wimbledon 1. Beasley and Hodges for United, and the scorer for Wimbledon, Warren Barton, with that splendid free kick. It was Holdsworth trying to get on the end of that, but he couldn't make contact. Paul Miller wrestling for it, brings it back for Holdsworth. Holdsworth with the cross. It's gone in! It's gone in from Dean Holdsworth from the cross! That's unbelievable. Now, if he intended that, well, that is one of the great goals. But I'm not convinced he did, to be honest. But Dean Holdsworth has tied it up at 2 each here, with, well, what can only be described as a cross-come shot, really. But into the corner of the net it went, past an unbelieving Simon Tracy. Let's see it again. Holdsworth is attacking down the right flank. He looks up. In fact, he doesn't even look up. He has a... That must be an attempted cross, but it's gone over Tracy's head. It's hit the butt of the post and bounced into the net. It's 2 each. And Dean Holdsworth's second goal for his new club. And he won't mind how they come, but that has a touch of the fluke about it, I think. Wimbledon pressing now for the 3 points. Andy Clark in possession. Attacking the Sheffield United defence. He never gives in, Clark. Shot there from Sanchez, just wide.
Joe saw that first point as the platform we needed, and we travelled to Goodison Park the following Saturday with renewed confidence. We left with our first clean sheet of the season, and as Everton boss Howard Kendall admitted, we gave an effective display that one of the so-called quality teams couldn't break down.
Nice flick on there, Beardsley. Beardsley's picked out Vashika. Vashika must score, wraps the crossbar. Led off for Wimbledon. Headed away by Earl, but Everton on a real roll here. Beardsley back in again. Well, the Toffee men coming unstuck there. Beardsley and Vashika. How does he miss? Robbie Earl, good interception. Slip there and Beardsley's half there. Beardsley across the face of goal and nobody with the finishing touch. Wow, just look at that. Good run here, the Dons motoring. Oh, fine shot from Southall. Had to be right in behind it. Morris Johnston, the sub. Beagrie, former Sheffield United, wonderful play, great cross, and must be. And John Everell couldn't score. Well, Vashika now, shot over the bar by Paul Wideout.
But it was only 1 point which left us at the end of August with only 2 points to our name. But I, for one, couldn't wait for September to begin, as it marked my first appearance of the season. Ironically, Terry Phelan made a quick return to Selhurst, along with fellow old boy Keith Curle, as Manchester City were the visitors. Sadly, it was yet another case of what might have been, as defenders' knee denied Dino a certain goal, while City snatched the points with their one serious chance of the game.
Throw in to Wimbledon. Steve Antrobus heads on there. Keith Curl, of course, a former Wimbledon player, competing there with Holdsworth. The ball breaks in the end to Paul Miller, who does well in the middle of the field, but that's cut out comfortably enough by Brightwell. And Brightwell gets it back to Tony Coton in the City goal. Long clearance aimed towards David White. Offside flag up there, I think against Holdsworth or Fashanu. It'll be a free kick to City, which Keith Curl will take. Still 0-0 here at Selhurst. Keith Curl taking his time over the free kick. John Fashanu stands in reasonably close attendance, just on halfway. Curl finally does take the free kick. Lofted towards the penalty area. There's two Wimbledon players jumping for it. One of them is McAllister. Paul Miller looking to get it away. Scott Fitzgerald in the end hoofs it clear. Holdsworth with the header. Lays it off Sanchez and chases the return. Here's Holdsworth bearing in on goal. Can he get the shot in? Holdsworth, oh, he hasn't got a touch there at all, and you can see there the divot in the turf. And that's the power that should have gone into the shot, but it went straight into the ground. Dean Holdsworth scuffing the pitch there. And in the end, the ball just trickled into the grateful hands of Tony Coton. And a chance goes begging there for the Wimbledon striker. Still 0-0, and looks like another free kick to City. There's the two Wimbledon players, Keith Curl, of course, who came to City in 1991, and Terry Phelan, who's just joined from the Dons for £2.5 million, the same fee that Curl was transferred for. Phelan has just made the trip from Wimbledon to Man City. And obviously those two players getting the bird from the Wimbledon fans whenever they're near the ball. Phelan leaves it for Curl. Curl lofts it into the penalty area. There's player jumping for it there. That's Michel Vonk getting up for that one. The Dutchman getting up with the header, but over the crossbar, and Sager's not challenged. Keith Curl playing it down the line. Warren Barton will hook this one away. Fashanu showing good control in his chest. Curl with the challenge, but the move keeps going, and it's Holdsworth on the break. Holdsworth can fire in the early ball to Sanchez, and oh, that very nearly came off. It looked like a mishit from Sanchez. When he was looking to strike that one, he didn't really make contact, although perhaps he was intentionally playing the lob. Let's look at that again. Yes, perhaps he was. In the end, that was lobbing up over Coton's head, and the City keeper had to backpedal to push it away. But another chance goes begging. Hans Sagers with the long goal kick. Robbie Earl does well with the header. Paul Miller holds it up well. Lays it off to Holdsworth. And offside flags up there, and another move breaks down, so it's still goalless here at Selhurst. Wimbledon 0, Manchester City 0. Tony Coton will bring the ball forward for the Manchester City goal kick. Passes it carefully. City keeper. Drives it forward now. Long goal kick. Now Quinn is inevitably the target man. Peter Reid, the City player manager, battling well there in the middle of the park. Brings it into the penalty area. Does well, lays it off to David White. White can finish for City. Peter Reid, the City player manager, has created it. David White has finished, and City have the lead here at Selhurst. And that was a wonderful piece of work by the veteran player manager, Peter Reid. He took on 2 or 3 players, got into the penalty area. See him here going past Scott Fitzgerald, chipped it inside. Past Fitzgerald, and there's David White sliding home to slot it past Hans Sagers as he advanced. And it's Wimbledon 0, Manchester City 1. David White the scorer. Once again aimed at Quinn. Quinn with a good header, but he's gone down there after a clash with Fitzgerald. Wimbledon have it with Anthropos. Peter Reid cuts out the header, but only as far as Anthropos again. Lob forward for Robbie Earl to chase. Can he get to the byline, get the cross in? He can. It's into the side netting. Coton just going down to guide that one out of play. Robbie Earl doing well there. The cross comes shot into the side netting. Ian Brightwell will take the throw in for Manchester City. They still lead by 1-0. David White the scorer. Now Quinn. Forward again. That's way again for David White. Great pace from White, but straight at Sagers, who doesn't gather cleanly, but there's no City player there in evidence to capitalise on that slight fumble by the Wimbledon keeper. Coton down the line, aimed towards Ricky Holden, who gets a header on it, but can't quite direct it. Scott Fitzgerald does well, showing some neat control. Header on by Fashanu, Anthrobus. Robbie Earle gets a touch to it, breaks for Fashanu again. Terry Phelan with the header, only as far as Steve Anthrobus once more. Anthrobus across the park. That's a nice ball. Brian McAllister is out there wide on the left. Gets the cross in. Vonk's header is not clean. Fashanu, can he get the shot in? In the end, it comes to Holdsworth, who drives it straight at the player on the line. Still the pressure on. The header there from Fashanu in the end. Or was it Andy Clark? There were 2 or 3 of them in there. But a sustained spell of pressure. Vonk's header wasn't clear. Fashanu couldn't quite get the shot in. It comes to Holdsworth on the turn, hits a player on the line, and then it was Andy Clark at the end who got the final header from close range, just wide of Coton's post. Still 1-0 to City. Good jump there by Sanchez. Fitzgerald will get it away. Anthrobus, who's still causing problems, cutting in from the right. Left to fall by Fitzgerald, good control by Holdsworth. The man wide is Andy Clark. He's into the box, faced by Brightwell. Lays it back for McAllister with a cross. Doesn't fall in the end, but still might. Lots of Wimbledon pressure here. Barton gets the shot in, but it's deflected away to safety, and Coton can bring it out of danger.
It was back to Selhurst Park 4 days later to face the might of Arsenal, and even the most committed Dons fans must have been fearing the worst. But just as so often before, we proved the pundits wrong and saved our best for the big occasion. I struck my first league goal of the season, as did Robbie Earle and Laurie Sanchez, and we raced to our first win of the campaign.
Terry Gibson will take the corner for Wimbledon. When jumping for it there, but it's cleared away. Brian McAllister get the ball back, and a free kick is awarded. The boot's been pulled off there. The Wimbledon player. So a little bit of confusion here while this is sorted out. Warren Barton is standing over the ball. It'll be a Wimbledon throw in. It was Laurie Sanchez who was having the boot problems. Andy Clark headed away by Steve Bold, only as far as Clark again. Clark looking to break down the line, challenged in there by Merson. And Barton will once again take the throw. Good turn there by, the shot came in there from Holdsworth it was. Dean Holdsworth got the shot in. And across the face of the goal, David Seaman going down for it, but it was just wide. And it'll be an Arsenal goal kick. Nigel Winterburn directing things here. There's a man in front of the ball. So Arsenal has got some move planned here. It'll be Winterburn to lob this one into the penalty area. John Fashanu is jumping for it. Arsenal still have possession though. Young Ray Parler looking to create something. John Jensen looking to get the cross in. Will come to Campbell. Campbell can chip across goal. Ian Wright should be able to finish here. Wright can finish. 1-0 to Arsenal. Kevin Campbell's cross completely eluded the Wimbledon defence. It came to Ian Wright, and he's there to finish at his old stamping ground, Selhurst Park, to put Arsenal ahead. And you can see how pleased he is with that one. Arsenal take the lead. Kevin Campbell did superbly well. Hans Segers couldn't reach it. Right across the face of the defence. Dean Blackwell's there, so is Warren Barton. Scott Fitzgerald's on the line. But none of them could prevent that one going in. Ian Wright with the finish. Lee Dixon finds Ray Parler. Dixon gets the return. Faced by Andy Clark. Clark does well in the tackle. And he can break now, can Andy Clark. Good firm challenge back in there by Parler, but it's still with Wimbledon. Fashanu gets the header to it. Holdsworth here. These two linking up. Holdsworth, can he get the shot in? Holdsworth, ooh, that's just wide from Dean Holdsworth. Looking to get his third goal of the season. Dean Holdsworth. Wimbledon have the throw. Warren Barton will take it. Headed on by Fashanu. Holdsworth can break down the line. He's challenged by Bold, who puts it out of play, the Arsenal centre-half. So it'll be a Wimbledon throw-in. Warren Barton comes up quickly to take it. Still Wimbledon 0, Arsenal 1. Ian Wright the scorer. Barton with the long throw. Holdsworth controls well on his chest. Can he turn? He'll Play it to Barton again. Barton does well to cut inside, get the cross in, back towards the far post. John Fashanu with the header. It'll break here for Sanchez! Laurie Sanchez has equalised for Wimbledon. And good work there by Fashanu to set it up initially. But it's Laurie Sanchez, the veteran, of course the 1988 FA Cup hero for the Dons, who's there to finish and tie it up at one each. Fashanu getting the header in. Good work there by Robbie Earle as well to keep it away from David Seaman. And there's Sanchez to drive it home. A simple enough finish for the veteran midfielder, but it's Wimbledon 1, Arsenal 1. Paul Merson with the corner. Given away by Fashanu back doing defensive duties. Gibson can't get it clear. Arsenal still have it. Played down the line towards Winterburn, but Brian McAllister is across to clear that one. It'll be an Arsenal throw-in, which looks as if Nigel Winterburn will take. Takes it short quickly to Coleman's. Cutting inside towards the box. He's got plenty of room here for the shot. Straight at hand Sagers though. Sagers is down to gather that one comfortably. And the Wimbledon corner now. Neil Ardley, the youngster, has gone across to take this one. 20-year-old has come on as a substitute. Still 1-1. Ardley swings it in. It's Fashanu jumping for it, but it evades everybody. Kevin Campbell back on defensive duty will clear this one. Only as far as Barton. Gibson cuts inside well. Gibson plays it across. Holdsworth gets the touch, looking to find Robbie Earle, but it's hooked away by Tony Adams before Robbie Earle could get a shot in. Holdsworth did well to lay that one off for Robbie Earle, but Adams also did well to clear it. But it's another Wimbledon corner, and it's still 1-1 here. Ian Wright for Arsenal. Laurie Sanchez equalising for the Dons. Terry Gibson has gone across to take the corner kick. Swings it in now. John Fashanu's jumping for it, just wide. John Fashanu with the header, just wide of David Seaman's goal. The keeper not too troubled by that. Robbie Earle, in fact, it was, got the header in. Terry Gibson now. Forward again for Wimbledon. That one doesn't break for the Dons. Alan Smith doing well there, holding the ball up in the middle of the park. Finds Dixon. Hoisted forward again for Arsenal. Smith is out jumped there by Fitzgerald. Robbie Earle wins possession. Brings it forward. Good ball there for Fashanu. Fashanu's onside. Good finish here. Oh, it's got a touch, but it's in. Fashanu has made it 2-1. Arsenal can't believe that that wasn't offside, but the referee and the linesman's flag has stayed down. The referee has not given offside, and John Fashanu has finished somewhat fortuitously, perhaps in the end. He receives the congratulations of his teammates. Robbie Earle with a lovely through ball over the top of the Arsenal defence. Fashanu had timed his run superbly, chested it down, faced David Seaman and drove it underneath Seaman. Seaman got a touch to it, but he couldn't keep it out of the net. And it's Wimbledon 2, Arsenal 1. And John Fashanu notches his first goal of the season. He's been out through injury, of course. And Sagers kicks long. Fashanu doing well with the header. And it'll only come as far as Nigel Winterburn. Winterburn plays it forward, but Wimbledon win it back. But Ray Parlour has done well for Arsenal here. Through ball for Smith. Smith evades a couple of challenges and releases Nigel Winterburn on the overlap, the left back. Winterburn with the cross. Sagers hasn't got a touch, hasn't gathered, and Ian Wright is there for his second of the match with the header. Ian Wright makes it 2-2, and Hans Sagers will feel that he was at fault there. He didn't gather the cross from Nigel Winterburn at all. He got his hands to it, but it went straight through them. Let's see that again. Winterburn with the cross. Sagers, his lack of inches, he's only 5'10" or 11. Perhaps letting him down there. He couldn't gather, and Ian Wright was there to head home. 2 each. Steve Bold with a powerful headed clearance for Arsenal. Scott Fitzgerald trying to tidy up for the Dons. Dean Blackwell. Oh, Blackwell's clearance is charged down by Smith, but he won't be able to reach that before it comes through to Hans Sagers. Hans Sagers quickly clears long for Wimbledon. It's once again lofted straight forward rather aimlessly by Arsenal there, straight back to Sagers. No danger there for the Dons. Sagers will bring the ball forward, and once again he'll knock it long. Good jump there by Holdsworth, looking to find Fashanu. Fashanu and wrestling to the ground, and Robbie Earle's there to finish. Well, Fashanu was involved there, and Robbie Earle, a dramatic pose from the Dons forward there as he puts them 3-2 up. John Fashanu was involved, Dean Holdsworth with the header, and Robbie Earle with a fantastic drive past Seaman to make it Wimbledon 3, Arsenal 2. Fashanu and Adams clashing there. They went down in an almighty heap, but it fell to Robbie Earle, who drove it home past Seaman from the edge of the penalty area. It's Wimbledon 3, Arsenal 2.
A few days after that splendid win, the club was back in the headlines when it was announced that the one and only Vinnie Jones was returning from Chelsea to rejoin the gang. Vinnie epitomised the crazy gang spirit which saw us lift the FA Cup in 1988 before departing for Leeds United a year later. His transfer fee of almost £650,000 brought the cost of his round trip to almost £3 million. Vinnie took his place in the lineup to face Ipswich at Portman Road the following Saturday, and John Scales and myself returning from injury, but they couldn't prevent the team from Suffolk from completing an early season double over us. Vinnie was in the thick of things again 7 days later, when he made his home debut against the wealthy high flyers Blackburn Rovers. An explosive encounter saw 3 players receive their marching orders from referee Martin Bodden, including Vinnie, apparently for the use of foul and abusive language against a Rovers player. Both managers described it as the worst piece of refereeing they'd ever seen. And it seemed that once again Vinnie was paying the price for his tough guy reputation. The bright spot was a first goal of the season for one of our youngsters, Neil Ardley, but it wasn't a happy day for me. I missed my first penalty of the campaign and we were robbed of 3 points.
Not very far. Force Randy Clark. Still Randy Clark trying to force a way through the whole crowd of players. Eventually it's Shearer who gets it away. Wilkins winning it back. Injury misheader there. Force for Neil Ardley. Neil Ardley with a shot straight at Bobby Mims, hit with power. And not the direction he probably wanted. Good try though by the youngster. Again, Mike knew all the targets. May forwards, Scales away. As far as Tim Sherwood. Tony Dobson trying his luck, coming forward. Left-footed shot as well, just wide, hit with tremendous power. And Hans Seegers relieved to see that one skim the post. Hans Seegers then with his free kick. He popped up in the Ipswich penalty area last week as Wimbledon sought a late equaliser. Pumping it forward there, finding the head of John Fashanu. Popping around the edge, Fashanu again. Hendry in trouble, shot there by Neil Ardley. Neil Ardley puts the Dons ahead. It started with Seegers, Fashanu carried on. And a snapshot by Neil Ardley, and the Dons are ahead. Tremendous start then for the Dons, and congratulations for Neil Ardley. Ripley, long ball across to Alan Wright, heads back into Mike Newell, and a brave challenge by Warren Barton. Inspirational, and good skills as well. Finding Dean Holsworth. To Robbie Earl, 3 against 3, Andy Clark just couldn't control it, forced wide. Andy Clark almost past his man, chance to get it over. Goes to Elkins, he does so, but that's straight at Bobby Mims. So a disappointing end product to what looked like a promising move, initiated by Warren Barton, who's on the end of that one. Nice control too. To Neil Ardley. Drifting wide on the right, trying to force his way through 2 players. And finding Billy Jones. Blackburn very much under the cosh. That's a run on here for Stuart Ripley. Mike Newell wide on the right, plays it forward to Shearer. Josh Alan Shearer hits the inside of the post. Is it a goal? And the referee, I think, has given it. Alan Shearer's 9th goal of the season, and now the cheers ring out. He's done nothing so far, just needed a sniff of goal, and he puts it away in clinical style. Some doubt as to whether it crossed the line. The official said it had, and Blackburn are back in it. Good work by Neil Ardley. Trying to find Andy Clark. Good ball. Again, can't get a bit of play behind. Elkins behind him. Really, but tries a right foot dig. Finds Dean Holsworth, hits it left-footed. Idea was right, just topped it slightly, and an easy one for Bobby Mims. Bobby Mims, ex-Spurs keeper, on ball, high to Mike Newell. Looking for Alan Shearer, almost getting in there, just over the bar. Well, he's had 2 chances, Alan Shearer, he's put one away. And they're so close to giving Blackburn the lead. Alan Wright, again on left-footed cross, looking for Mike Newell. Good header away by Dean Blackwell, and now space for John Fashanu. Much support up there with him. It's arriving now with Robbie Earl. So Fashanu running straight into Tim Sherwood. And while Tim Sherwood was arguing, Fashanu went and got the ball. Again, the 2 clash, and Wimbledon get the decision. Elkins and Ardley deciding how this free kick will be taken. Elkins it is. Header there by Hendry, force of Dean Holsworth. Holsworth, it's off the line. Was it handball? It was. Handball by Mike Newell. Mike Newell could well be sent off for that. And Mike Newell knows he's going before he gets the red card. Mike Newell becomes the 2nd Blackburn player sent off for saving what would have been a certain goal by Dean Holsworth. Blackburn down to 9. And John Fashanu, I think, will take the resulting penalty. I don't think, in fact, the referee even showed Newell the red card. Well, Dean Holsworth denied a 4th league goal. John Fashanu hoping to score his 2nd league goal. Great expectancy behind that goal. John Fashanu then with a chance to give the Dons the lead. And it's saved by Bobby Mims. Holsworth across, still danger for Blackburn. Behind for a corner. Well, John Fashanu tried to stroke it into the corner. Bobby Mims guessed right. And Dean Holsworth must be wondering about the justice of that situation. Looks at John Fashanu limping slightly. As the Dons press forward again. Holsworth in a lively second half. Again, Elkins with a hard-driven cross, away by Hill. And Moran in all sorts of trouble. Chance for Andy Clark, and he's hit it wide. The Wimbledon players hold their heads in their hands. They thought that was the lead. Poor Andy Clark did ever so well, but just dragged his final shot wide. Into Gary Elkins. Gary Elkins lines up a shot, hit well, and took a deflection on the way. Again, Wimbledon play it wide to Holsworth. Pass one, gets past two, still Dean Holsworth. Still Dean Holsworth, chance for Dean Holsworth. Gets his way through and eventually saved by Bobby Mims. Deserved applause from John Fashanu for that inspired run by Dean Holsworth. Twisted and turned his way past four Blackburn players. Got the final shot in, but Bobby Mims smartly down to his left.
There was better to come the following weekend as we travelled to crisis-ridden Anfield and secured our second successive win at the home of the Reds. I proved that my scoring touch was really back, but it looked as if we'd blown it when Liverpool pegged back our 2-goal lead until the brilliant Robbie Earle clinched it with his second of the game. Special mention must be of the 20-year-old left-back Justin Skinner, who because of our injury problem made his debut at the toughest place in football and came through with flying colours.
So it's a throw-in to Liverpool. David Burrows will take it. Still 0-0 here at Anfield. Burrows taking his time, looking for an available man. Jan Molby is indicating that the shorter ball might be the best option. Picnic gets it forward. Ronnie Rosenthal will chase that. He's challenged by John Scales, but Rosenthal's cut inside well. Ronnie Rosenthal here. Lays it back to, the drive from the edge of the box in the end came from the number 9, Don Hutchinson. He did well there with that strike, but just wide. Hans Sagers takes the goal kick. It's Fashanu jumping well. He gets a touch to it again. Burrows is across trying to clear. It's away by Mark Wright. Still Wimbledon putting on the pressure though. Fashanu combining well. Fashanu's into the box. Fashanu, can he finish? He can! John Fashanu puts the Dons ahead at Anfield. Mark Wright not happy about something there, but John Fashanu has given the Dons the lead. And the referee, Roger Milford, trying to end the celebrations, but John Fashanu has every right to be happy. Good 1-2 there between Fashanu and Earle. Fashanu did well to bring that one under control and into the box and slotting it home past Grobbelaar. And it's Liverpool 0, Wimbledon 1. Steve McManaman for Liverpool. Cuts inside, away from Justin Skinner, the young left-back. Across the box for Rosenthal! And Sagers furious with his defence there. John Scales and Billy Jones trying to sort something out, but Ronnie Rosenthal was in plenty of space there as they looked to get the finish. Steve McManaman again. Plays it inside. Molby with a lovely lofted ball into the box. The header there as Wimbledon try and clear it. Fitzgerald is there. Oh, the shot in the end is wide from Jamie Redknapp it was who had the shot in the end. But skewing it wide, and Wimbledon living on thin ice at the moment. Jan Molby plays a little touch. But Wimbledon can bring it away. Young Andy Clark can break. Brings it out of the centre circle. Running at the Liverpool defence. He takes on Mark Wright. Good challenge by the England centre half. And another move breaks down. Steve McManaman does well. Lays it off to Rosenthal. Rosenthal cuts inside. Lovely through ball there for Redknapp to chase. Redknapp gets the cross in. Oh, the header came in. I think it was Don Hutchinson who got the header in the end. Sagers once again unhappy with his defence. Good work by Liverpool. Don Hutchinson it was who got the header in the end, but over the crossbar. Redknapp doing well, swinging in the cross. Hutchinson with the header, with Scott Fitzgerald in close attendance, but over the crossbar. Still 1-0 to Wimbledon. John Fashanu the scorer. Justin Skinner takes the throw. And John Scales and Ronnie Rosenthal clash there, and it's going to be a free kick. And a free kick to Wimbledon. Young Justin Skinner will take it. This young 20-year-old making his first team debut here, and what a place to make it in the cauldron of Anfield, because of the injuries to Gary Elkins and Brian McAllister, the regular left-backs. This youngster finds himself in the side today, and Skinner will take this free kick. Drives it up towards the buck. Bruce Grobbelaar has come for it. Any half gets a punch to it. Robbie Earle with the lob. Will this be in? It will! Robbie Earle has put Wimbledon 2-0 up. And a typical piece of Bruce Grobbelaar eccentricity there has led to Wimbledon taking a 2-0 lead. Skinner's free kick is a good one. Grobbelaar decides to come for it. He's challenged by Fashanu. The punch is never clear, and Robbie Earle from 25 yards out has lobbed that into the corner of the net, with the Liverpool goalkeeper way off his line. 2-0 to Wimbledon here at Anfield. And Sagers has the long goal kick. David Burrows looks to clear for Liverpool. John Scales puts it back into Liverpool territory. And now Liverpool can break with Redknapp. Men moving wide of him. Steve McManaman here. McManaman cuts inside. Nice through ball. Ronnie Rosenthal can chase it. He's brought down, is he? It's a penalty. He's brought down. The referee, Roger Milford, points to the spot, ignores the complaints of the Wimbledon players. Dean Holdsworth and Warren Barton there. Scott Fitzgerald still complaining. Roger Milford doesn't want to know. It's a penalty in his estimation, and Liverpool have a chance to pull one back here. They're 2-0 down at the moment, but Jan Molby, the Danish international, will take the spot kick, and he'll face Wimbledon's Dutch keeper Hans Sagers. Molby to take it. It's there, but Sagers went the right way, diving to his right, but it was a good penalty, low and hard into the corner. But Sagers did well and very nearly reached it, but Jan Molby has pulled one back for Liverpool. It's Liverpool 1, Wimbledon 2. Sagers doing well. Very nearly got a touch to that, but it's into the corner of the net. Colvin Picnic brings it forward, then plays it square to David Burrows. Down the line. Hutchinson here, faced by Scott Fitzgerald. Hutchinson does well. Ronnie Rosenthal hits the crossbar, and McManaman's there to equalise. Ronnie Rosenthal's effort hit the crossbar. Sagers was out of the picture, and there was Steve McManaman from close range to just tap it home, and Liverpool have pulled it back. They were 2-0 down, and in the space of a few minutes they've tied it up at 2 apiece. Steve McManaman there getting the final touch, and it's a disaster for the Dons. Liverpool 2, Wimbledon 2. Redknapp to Molby, chips it into the box. John Scales will head clear. Hutchison fighting at Rosenthal, causing lots of problems for Wimbledon this afternoon. Cuts inside the box, faced by Fitzgerald. Headed away by Fashanu. The drive there from Hutchinson. Oh, over the crossbar. Hutchinson had the final shot, and it took a deflection. And over Hans Sagers' crossbar. Still 2-2 here. Fashanu and Earle for Wimbledon. Molby with a penalty, and McManaman for the Reds. John Fashanu gets a good flick onto it. Robbie Earle on the break. Robbie Earle into the box. He's away from right. Can Earle finish? He can! Robbie Earle has put Wimbledon back ahead with his second of the match, and that's a wonderful finish by Robbie Earle. Vinnie Jones and Andy Clark, Warren Barton and John Fashanu all there to congratulate him. Robbie Earle's second of the game. His first one was a spectacular lob from long distance. That one was a real testimony to his determination. He got away from his defender, Mark Wright, and slotted it underneath the advancing Bruce Grobbelaar to make it Liverpool 2, Wimbledon 3 here at Anfield, and Wimbledon on the verge of a famous victory. Laurie Sanchez, who in 1988 scored the winner for the Wimbledon against Liverpool in the cup final, of course, breaking. Robbie Earle finds Warren Barton wide. The ball is cleared by Liverpool as they look to try and salvage something here. Mark Walters is on the break. He's faced by John Scales. Walters cuts inside. He'll have a shot just wide, though, not really troubling Sagers. But Sagers still unhappy with his defence, letting Walters come too far. But it's still Liverpool 2, Wimbledon 3. Torben Picnic, the new Liverpool signing, the Danish international. forward, comes to Redknapp. It's Mike Marsh cutting inside. Morby. And Liverpool having a shot there. That was a good shot from long range. I think from Don Hutchinson, actually. But Sagers is across well to save. No danger there for Wimbledon.
Our next game against Villa, but on a day which saw my hamstring injury return and Dean Holdsworth out after a hernia operation, we had no answer to the deadly skills of Dean Saunders and a fantastic strike by Daley Atkinson.
Paul McGrath, good work to Gary Parker. Through to Dean Saunders, a roar from the Villa fans as he gets the ball. Gary Parker, good defensive work by the Dons, but having said that, they've given it away again. Inserted early pressure from Villa. Houghton has a go. Only as far as Parker. Scales calls and clears. End-to-end stuff. Villa quickly settling into their rhythm. It's a good ball releasing Steve Froggatt. Over it comes again, aimed for Dean Saunders. He's done it! 5 goals for Dean Saunders. An early lead for Villa. Froggatt the provider, Dean Saunders the executioner. Saunders hacked down by Fitzgerald. On the space there for Saunders, and Sailor's difficulty with that one. On his way to Andy Clark. England international Earl Barrett barring his way. Gets a cross in. Miller. Elkins tries his luck, just over. Saunders typically buzzing around. Wimbledon having tightened it up at the back. He's done it, Dean Saunders. He can't put a foot wrong for Villa at the moment. 30 minutes gone. Villa 2, Wimbledon 0. And again, Dean Saunders amongst the goals. Miller. Tremendous effort there by Newhouse. Spin furious with the defenders, and Newhouse just shaved the posts. Almost, but not quite a first touch for substitute Dwight York. Another good header from Aidan Newhouse, releasing Andy Clark. Still Andy Clark. Releasing it to Paul Miller. These two have worked well together. Miller's chip, shot there, and onto the post by Nigel Spink. Robbie Earle thought he'd equalise, but Nigel Spink, dramatic save. Dwight York breaking down the Villa left. York through to that man, Dean Saunders. Is this a hat-trick? Great save by Seegers. Warren Barton.
Seen too much of him up front in the second half. Now coming forwards. And gets a cross in. That's Villa get it away.
And that's a superb individual goal by Damian Atkinson. That's a goal fit to win any match, and he salutes the crowd as well he may. Skill of the highest order by Damian Atkinson, who rode a succession of... Saunders is away. Parker in the middle. Is he going for his hat-trick? He is, but Sagers is equal to it. Pulled off some great saves this afternoon, Sagers. Cleverly taken corner to Richardson. Dwight York onto his left foot, hits the post. Almost four. Ball still in play. Saunders. It's away by a relieved Don's defence. Sanchez, Teal, only as far as Clark, it's got in. I fear it's too late, but Andy Clark has opened his account for the season with a well-struck goal.
Luckily, a blank Saturday owing to World Cup qualifiers gave me time to recover for our next Premier League game at Southampton. Neil Sullivan stepped in for Hans Sagers, missing only his second league match since joining us, owing to a twisted ankle. Defender Alan McCleary arrived on loan from Millwall as cover for John Scales, whose groin injury had reoccurred. But the real hero was striker Steve Cottrell, who returned from a loan spell at Brighton and marked his first game for the Dons in 18 months by bagging his 2 goals to earn us a point at the Dell. As Joe said, we would have sold him to Brighton for 200,000, but now he's worth $500,000.
Good persistence. Shot and cross charge down. Still in possession. Another good ball in. Cottrell! Yes! The Dons are ahead. And what a finish. Wonderful ball in. Cottrell's free. And look at that finish. Southampton pressing forward with cries of Brandfoot out. Ian Brandfoot, the manager, not the most popular man. Here's Hurlock. Nice little interchange there. Good ball for Glenn Cockrell, and there's Ian Dowie. He doesn't miss them from that range. Absolute sitter. And you have to ask questions about Wimbledon's marking in that respect. Jones, long throw. The keeper's all over the place. Flowers back in again. Oh, and still a mistake, and Cottrell gets his second of the match. And a gift goal again. But the striker plucked from obscurity. Weighs in with his second. Another good finish. Dowie, nice little flick. First time shot. Terrific goal, Perry Groves.
Our next match at Selhurst was switched to Sunday to accommodate the B-Sky B cameras, as Wimbledon were featured live on television for the first time in 3 years. Spurs proved the opposition, and we took the lead early on. I clashed with keeper Ian Walker before Terry Gibson struck in only his second appearance of the season. Despite the complaints of Tottenham, I saw it as a 50-50 ball that I had every right to go for. Sadly, we couldn't stop Spurs from striking back to deny our second home win of the season.
Ruddock's free kick, and a pretty good one as well, over the top of Joseph, and Sheringham, well, he's won the corner kick. Sheringham using his weight, fair shoulder charge in the opinion of referee Gunn. So Spurs have their first corner. And there you see that Spurs have just got 3 men up there at the moment. Sheringham, Naeem, and on the goal line is Gordon Dury. But Mabbott has now gone up as well. So has Steve Sedgley, as Samways takes it, and it was Sedgley's header, but he didn't really get any purchase on it, and it enables Vinnie Jones to clear. Well, it was a scything clearance, and it wasn't a good one. It's given Spurs the chance to come straight back with Samways, and the shot from Vinnie Samways. Good one it was too. Sagers getting down and just knocking it outside of the upright. The first real shooting chance of the game, and Samways taking it on the left foot, and it was sneaking in the corner. A Wimbledon corner. Can they break the deadlock in the match? Gibson has gone across to take it. And Walker doesn't get here. McCleary did. The header no more than a couple of feet wide from Alan McCleary. And nice to see him and Sheringham sharing a joke. They used to be colleagues, of course, at Millwall. Earl's knocked through, and now Fashanu, great chance, the first real opportunity in the game, and there's surely spread eagle now, and it must be a goal for Terry Gibson. Gibson's first goal for Wimbledon for 2 years, and a calamitous moment for the Spurs defence. Walker is left clutching his knee, but Terry Gibson gives Wimbledon a priceless advantage here in the closing moments of the first half. And it was Fashanu who'd made the break through the middle. That was the header out, which was from Mabbott, which flew into the path of Fashanu. Walker couldn't hold on to it and lay with his face in the turf. It was then cut back by Cotterill, and perhaps Edinburgh was a little asleep as Terry Gibson came in behind him to score against his old club. Walker disconsolate, he couldn't hold on to the greasy ball, and Cotterill's cutback was perfectly placed and an easy roll into the net for Terry Gibson. 39 minutes gone, Wimbledon's lead. We've seen it from all angles now. Fashanu, I think, may have been going down there hoping to get a penalty. The referee had allowed play to continue, and Terry Gibson will say thank you to him for that. Well, that's not a bad flick. It was a good flick indeed, and Sheringham takes it on and gets a shot in, which doesn't pose a problem for Sagers, but at least Spurs have had a shot on target. They had only one in the first half. Fashanu once had to clear over his own crossbar, but Spurs making a better start to the second half than they finished the first, when they were just in a little bit of disarray after losing their goalkeeper and going a goal behind. Cotterill here. Brighton and Hove Albion would like to sign him. Clark, very much an established figure now in the Wimbledon side. Allen. Dropped nicely for him, and Sheringham has taken up another good position on the right and swings a useful ball in. At least that's an equaliser. It's a good stop on the line from it's a goal. The goal given, and you can tell by the grin on the face of Nicky Barmby that he's got the equaliser, and that's a quite outstanding comeback by Spurs. And what a substitution. 18-year-old Nicky Barmby has brought Spurs right back into this. The ball was played wide by Allen. It's a very good cross indeed from Sheringham there. Joseph perhaps not putting him under the pressure he might have done. Barmby's header squeezing over the line under the grasp of goalkeeper Sagers. The goalkeeper must take responsibility here, because the direct header was under his body, and that was where he dragged it over the line. We might see it better from this angle. Sheringham's ball in, and Barmby's header, and there is Sagers. Now then, does it cross? It does there, and that's a good spot by the linesman. Sagers had hauled it back from that position. As you can see, the whole of the ball just crossed the line, and that's an equaliser. What a different game it is at the moment, and here's the ball through towards Sheringham. Oh, the goalkeeper stopped on his line. Surely he should have come for that. Sheringham's got a second chance. Must be another for Barmby. No, kept out on the line. Now it's Austin's turn to maybe drive one in. Tees it up again for Sheringham, and Joseph keeps it away. There was some awful defending by Wimbledon there. First of all, from the goalkeeper Sagers, I couldn't believe that he didn't come for the ball when Sheringham was allowed to go on. Barmby looked a certain scorer. He really did when it was pulled back. He had to score, you felt there, but Fitzgerald got his boot in the way, and Wimbledon survive it. Joe Kinnear still barking out a message. He must have feared the worst at times in this second half. They have been a little bit overrun at times, and here's a shot! And Sagers makes up for his earlier lapse. That was a good stop. Naeem had struck it beautifully, and it was creeping inside an upright. The ball lifted in there, and when it was knocked out by McCleary, Naeem struck it well. Sagers down to it.
On Halloween, we haunted Old Trafford to put the frighteners on Manchester United and secure yet another win against one of the supposed top clubs. Dean Holdsworth returned to take my place. Yes, that hamstring niggle was back. But it was Lawrie Sanchez, the only survivor from our last win at Old Trafford 5 years ago, who poached the winner, 10 minutes from time.
Terry Gibson, former Manchester United man's come over to take this. Special match for him. There's no question about that. He's going to take it right-footed. It's a good delivery, that's danger, and Sanchez, I think, has got the touch at the near post. Jones has gone in there to celebrate, not surprisingly, but Sanchez claims it. Gibson, perfect delivery, and an instinctive touch. Lawrie Sanchez, deft little finish.
And the Wimbledon goal scored by number 10, Lawrie Sanchez.
Gibson. Wimbledon taking it to Manchester United here at Old Trafford. And a chance here, and great save, Michael Jones at overhead.
We ended October in 18th place in the table with 14 points from 14 games. But we'd hoped to add to that with our first match in November against a revitalised QPR at Selhurst. But with myself and John Scales still sidelined, we were outfoxed by the evergreen skills of the veteran Ray Wilkins.
And Sagers will take the free kick for Wimbledon. Forward aim towards Holdsworth. Ray Wilkins is there hooking it clear for Rangers. Put it away by McAllister. Warren Barton. Robbie Earle. Lofted forward. Sanchez is trying to get on the end of this, but looks like QPR can tidy that one up with Andy Impey breaking away now. Impey finds Wilkins just inside the centre circle. Over halfway now, David Bardsley. QPR right back, down the line. Ball forward for Wilkins. Wilkins with the... Oh, that was a lovely attempt from Wilkins there. Chipped across the face of the goal. Hans Sagers not drawn into making a save, but a nice effort there by Wilkins. Vinnie Jones will take the throw once he's decided what ball to use. Another ball has appeared, so Vinnie Jones will take this throw in. And he's getting a grip on it, looking to wind one up for a long one. Same towards the near post and Robbie Earle, but it's headed away. There's an effort there from McAllister. That's not too far over. Good effort that from Brian McAllister. Everyone had Tony Roberts stretching a little bit. And good first-time strike by Brian McAllister. McAllister with the free kick into the box. Headed on by Earle. Hooked away by Alan McDonald. As far as number 9, there's Ferdinand. Who breaks down again with Sanchez winning it back for Wimbledon. Headed on, one for Dobbs to chase. Holdsworth looking to get down the line and get the cross in. He can. Wilson loses control. Gerald Dobbs can turn. Can Dobbs get the shot in? He can. Good save by Tony Roberts there. And a good piece of work by Gerald Dobbs, and a good shot from, good save from Tony Roberts in the end. And it's pushed away again, and it remains 0-0. Corner for Wimbledon. Terry Gibson will take it, floated into the box. Vinnie Jones is one of those players jumping for it. But QPR can bring this away. Bradley Allen in possession. Forward first time. Andy Sinton brings it under control nicely. Turns and runs at goal. He's got players wide. One of those is Wilkins. The other one is Clive Wilson. Wilson lofts it into the box. The header there from Ferdinand. Bradley Allen. Great save by Hans Sagers. One-handed save by the Wimbledon keeper. But the pressure's not clear yet. Sinton, can he get the cross in? He can, but he's fired it away and over. Well, that was a wonderful piece of goalkeeping by the Wimbledon keeper, Hans Sagers. From Bradley Allen's, well, it's just on the 6-yard line there. real close range, and Sagers punches it away. Sagers with the long goal kick. And it falls for Jones. Jones plays it across field, but he's given that one away. Ferdinand's able to cut that one out. And a good run now. Jones is wrestling back to try and win back possession, but a good run from Ferdinand. He looked like he could go all the way, but Sagers is able to hook it clear in the end. That was a fine run by Les Ferdinand. Clive Wilson in possession now for Rangers. Still 0-0 here at Selhurst. With Darren Peacock, fires it across field. David Bardsley on the overlap. Plays the short ball to Bradley Allen. Allen, the shot is deflected off McAllister and in! Oh, despair for the Wimbledon keeper Hans Sagers. What bad luck for Wimbledon, and especially for Hans Sagers. Bradley Allen, that really was a speculative shot. Bardsley played it short to him. He won it, brought it under control, turned, lined up the shot, struck it, and it came off McAllister's head and just gently lobbed over Hans Sagers. And once again, Sagers' lack of inches costing him dearly there as it lobbed over his head into the corner of the net. It's Wimbledon 0, Rangers 1. Brought under control by McDonald, and he releases Sinton. 2! Ray Wilkins makes it 2-0 Rangers. What a superb piece of finishing by this evergreen midfielder, 36 years of age, and some say he's playing the best football of his career. Ray Wilkins with the finish. It was Ferdinand with the run. Sagers cleared it, but only as far as Wilkins on the edge of the box, who without hesitation chipped it back into the empty net.
Well, that's all we've got time for now. While we all know our league position needs to be improved and fast, the spirit of all the gang at the club is great. And those victories over Manchester United, Liverpool and Arsenal prove that on our day we can beat anyone. Injury problems have seen myself and Dean Holsworth combine on only a few occasions and have robbed us of the influential talents like John Scales and Dean Blackwell. With those problems overcome, I'm sure that we'll build on the start we've made and quickly climb the table. The continuing emergence of players like Robbie Earle and Warren Barton, and the development of youngsters such as Brian McAllister, Gerald Dobbs and Neil Ardley, all bodes well for the future. But we need your help, so keep on cheering the Dons right to the end of the season, when we'll be back to look at the rest of our first year in the Premier League.